It's been almost a year since Spices UK and Ireland was acquired by Better Capital, and there's been no shortage of news or developments. As the wholesaler prepared to swap one field for another and relocate to a shiny new headquarters in the middle of nowhere, Cambridgeshire, OPI caught up with the company's refreshingly candid and sometimes outspoken CEO, Alan Ball. Reading the correspondence that you sent out to the vendor community last month regarding backdated credit notes, that correspondence seems fairly heavy-handed. Coincidental, or does that coincide with the input of Better Capital?
I think that they brought experience to us that challenged the way in which we do things, and we took that on board. It was our decision to make the communications that we did. The one thing Better Capital have never done is dictated any strategy to us, which I'm grateful for. But there's no doubt about it, the experiences that they've had, we certainly learnt from that, and we took appropriate action. And I don't apologise for that. The manufacturers can always say no. Can they? Well, of course they can. Because the relationship that you have with a vendor is the same relationship. Do you not think that every day of the week we get dealers onto us threatening to go out of our? Every day of the week we get that. So we're constantly getting hit by dealers saying competitive price, best buy software. So chip, margin becomes eroded. If you just allow that to happen, you get to a position that we've got to pre-sale, whereby our margins were at the lowest level, our profitability was at our lowest level. When I joined the business, we were losing money. So you've got to find a mechanism in order to make your business more profitable. And there's only a number of ways that you can do that. You can either go out and put your prices up to the market, you can take cost out of your business, or you can buy better. Now, we've taken significant cost out of the business, so we've helped ourselves. It's not the environment to start putting prices up to our dealer community, because they're the ones that are struggling day to day to try and make ends meet. The manufacturers, we believe, through what's been happening over the last 12-18 months, there's been significant improvement in commodity pricing, there's been significant improvements in energy, there's been significant improvements in exchange rate. And what we're saying is, give us some of that back. I was a manufacturer for 20 years, so I know exactly how it would be perceived, yeah. But I make no apology for it, and I think it was the right decision to take. And we've taken appropriate action. Where we've derived benefit, then those manufacturers were clearly happy to do that. Where we've not derived benefit, those suppliers have explained their reasonings behind it, and life moves on. If most manufacturers came to us and said, well, now you're only buying half the volume, therefore your terms have got to change, overnight that would have either meant an erosion in margin or an increase in price to the marketplace, neither of which was acceptable. We haven't seen either. So we haven't seen an erosion in our terms because of the change. I think that's a damn good job from the commercial team, and equally I think it's recognition of the importance of spices in the market. I think going forward we have to then continue to make sure that we buy best in class. We can't allow that erosion to continue, and there will be an equilibrium, there'll be a happy medium whereby the supplier's happy to supply us at that price, we're happy to buy at that price. There's going to be an odd occasion where there's not, but if you bear in mind we've got 250 vendors and we've had one that's come back and said no.
For the full interview, look out for the November issue of OPI, where Ball talks about going direct, competing with Vow, and much more.